We also come to this. A South African rape survivor and activist is walking 729 kilometers to heal and raise awareness. Back in 1992, Leilani Kuter was just 18 years old when she was brutally raped. Her 60-day journey began just last Wednesday, and she's bravely revisiting significant moments in her life as she finds healing in her walk. Kuter is also the founder of Yellow of Survivors, which is formed to support victims of rape and gender-based violence. And Leilani joins me now for a discussion. Thank you so much for your time, and a very warm good morning to you. I'm very keen to know why the decision to revisit moments in your life. I mean, this year marking 28 years since, the tragedy that happened to you. And, this year you're actually doing something different by walking these kilometers and revisiting those moments in your life.
Yeah, so good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think in everyone's life there comes a time where you just decided enough is enough. And last year I decided, it happened 27 years ago, I went back to the youth hostel where it happened, and I went and faced the worst incident of my life. Okay, and I went back to the room, and when I left there, I decided I'm going to walk 27 km per day for 27 days, which is 729 days, for other rape survivors, to tell them they're not alone. I'm there for them, and if I can do it, then they can do it. It's a small step that can make such a huge difference. So this year I decided to do the same again, but I walked for 16 days because it happened on the 16th in 1992. I walked 28 kilometers per day for 16 days. It was an amazing journey. It was fantastic to see how the public comes on board, and it feels fantastic to see more and more people contacting me and telling me, Leilani, because you're starting to talk, I'm starting to talk for the first time. Now, that feels fantastic.
Leilani, I mean, you're doing this, of course, for your own healing, but also, as you've mentioned, to say to other rape survivors that they're not alone. You are here. There's so many other, women and other organizations there to assist them. But each time you hear a story around gender-based violence, around, a rape incident, does it affect you personally?
Yes, I must say that last year it affected me quite a lot. Last year I had on my yellow T-shirt. The reason why I wear yellow is because the attacker had yellow on, and I'm taking control of this beautiful color. Anyway, so last year on my T-shirt there were rape survivor, hashtag rape survivor. This year it's Be Sunshine, because I'm not a victim or a survivor anymore. I'm just an activist now. So it's amazing the progress I've made, and it doesn't... I still get very sad if I hear these terrible stories, because it's not something that's supposed to happen to anyone.
Right.
But it feels good to, like I said earlier, when people do contact me and say, Leilani, thank you so much. Because of you, I'm starting to tell my story. And it's, what? It's never, unfortunately, going to stop. I wish we can stop this terrible, terrible thing that happens to people.
But, let's then talk about your activism in just a moment, because, we're kind of pressed for time. But you mentioned that you're no longer just a survivor or a victim. Now you are an activist. You've taken this as your life's purpose, to reach out and help, other women. What kind of activities and work do you do with other women that have experienced this tragic ordeal?
Well, I just started, so I'm still a bit of a rookie. I'm doing all this walking. I think people see that I'm very committed to it. Then I'm raising funds via Backer Buddy. People can just go into Backer Buddy and make a small donation of 28 Rand. The funds is going to rape crisis organizations, where people can go for counseling or support kits, rape kits, or comfort bags. So that is what I'm actually doing with my activism. I'm talking about it. I'm out there, and hopefully people see my commitment and my passion about this.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about how people they can contact you if they want to be, a part of you, if they want to talk to you, or perhaps even contribute to the work that you're doing so far. You said you are raising funds right now, and I mean, I'm sure you could use more help to reach as many women as possible. How do I contact you if I'm watching this conversation right now? Okay,
so they can. The easy option is to go to yellowforsurvivors.co.za, and it's FOR, it's not the number 4. And all the information is on there. Or, like I said, I can just visit Backer Buddy, and my crowdfunding campaign is there.
Leilani Kuter, thank you so much for talking to us. It was very much great talking to you. Yeah, so I suppose that's where we are in a country. I mean, just before we spoke to Leilani there, you saw a story about a husband who obviously, committed or rather allegedly committed that atrocious crime against, their wife. And unfortunately, this is a story that, I mean, even in our profession, we need to expect to talk about each and every day.
I agree.
For as long as, the numbers and the stats are there and nothing is being done about it by law enforcement or even government to stop it, this is our reality.
Education is also needed. I don't know if it was this year or the end of last year, but research came out about how many women expected to be hit by her husband if she had done something wrong and didn't actually see anything wrong with that. So that is something that needs to be said. Women need to know that it's wrong. Any man who lifts a hand,
absolutely,
it's wrong.
It is wrong.
Allowed.
And we need organizations such as, Leilani's and many more that are doing amazing work, unsung heroes, making sure that they create safe spaces for women to talk, to continue to raise awareness for young girls and young boys to be socialized in knowing how to be responsible citizens of this country. And I think that work equally needs to be reported on.
Absolutely,
yeah.
And they're not alone.